Somebody who was born in 1980 is actually pretty damn old. So who are millennials? So millennials are born between 1980 and 1995. And the funny thing is that often when marketers talk about millennials, if they don't study it really well, they will say, okay, this is kind of like the Snapchat generation, they're kind of young, they don't have money, they're not really our customers. But as you can see, somebody who was born in 1980 is actually pretty damn old. So, so these are people who are like 39 years old, and they definitely have enough money to buy a car, they probably have families, they probably have kids. They're definitely your target customers as well, so it's important to understand them as well. When we now look at Generation Z, we're talking about people born after 1995, between 2010, and even those Gen Zers, I mean, born in 1995, so such a person is 24 nowadays, so they might also be your customers, and they might be some prospective employees for your companies. So me being a millennial, I've basically known the old world pretty well, but now adapting obviously to digital. And so I've just observed my own consumption patterns and my own behavior, and I've just observed that there's like 10 things I no longer do. So obviously computing has gone fully mobile. Gen Zers probably don't use any regular computers at all. Entertainment has fully shifted from TV to social media, so whoever has children knows that no one is watching TV anymore, at least not the young people. For young people, esports seems to be more popular than soccer, so we have to be open-minded enough to imagine a world where esports could be bigger than football. Social media, no one's using Facebook anymore, the young kids are on TikTok. Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul and seal your doom tonight. I don't really read any books anymore, and I mostly listen to podcasts, so I really probably listen to podcasts 5 hours a day, just in order to keep up with everything that's new. Shopping has obviously moved from offline shopping to online shopping. Payment, I hate to pay with cash. Unfortunately, I live in Germany, where cash is still king. Hotels are being replaced by Airbnb. Fewer people are buying cars and using scooters and Uber instead. And I think also an interesting trend, it seems to be that all young people I meet are like vegetarian or vegan. So none of this is really world changing, but when you just think of it, is that at some point, most of the left-hand side will disappear in some ways. Maybe not totally, but people will just use it less. And maybe if we had another column of the generation before, we would have stuff like CDs or DVDs, just things we no longer use. If we go further back, we would see something like horses, and people never thought that horses would go away. So even though maybe your first inclination would be to say, oh, offline retail will always exist and people will always watch television, yes, a little bit, but even less so. If even millennials, like old people, 35 years old, tend to behave like that, you can just imagine how Gen Zers will behave. So what about you? Do you behave more like a Gen Xer, a millennial, or even a Gen Zer? And what about your company? How well is your company prepared to serve a customer with this kind of behavior? Let me know in the comments below.